So we're going to talk about the government shutdown for a second. I wanted to start doing a new segment where I sit here and I talk to you guys while I'm riding out on my motorcycle, having a good time. It's finally good weather here in Texas. You know, it's a good 64 degrees right now. So I'm pretty happy that I get to go out and BS on my bike. I enjoy it. I love it. I love riding. If you don't ride, you should. But anyway, the government shutdown has happened. It happened last night. It happened at midnight. Now everything is just stopping to a halt and everything is screeching, stopping. And now here we are. Again, after 5 years, we have another fucking government shutdown. Over what exactly? Well, we'll give it to you. The DACA program. Again, we are at the same impasse with the DACA program that happened earlier, which is basically the Democrats didn't want to pass a clean appropriations bill, right? So everything that we need to fund for the government needed funding. And they're like, no, not until we add DACA to the docket and the bill and we vote on it. And the Republicans were like, no, that's fucking stupid. We're not doing that. And the Democrats pushed back and said, yes, we are. And so now we had this vote. They tried to break the filibuster. It didn't happen. They didn't get the 60 votes. Now here we are. Well, two things that you got to know is that, one, the VA, like guys like me that are on disability, aren't getting fucked just yet. We will eventually, but we're not right now. And retirees aren't getting fucked, but everybody else is. So all the contractors that are on any of the bases, all of the active duty guys, CHIP is now out the fucking window. Any non-essential personnel are done, right? We are donezo when it comes to getting paid. And that sucks. That sucks for everybody involved. And look, Congress, the Senate, everybody needs to get their fucking heads out of their asses and pass a goddamn bill. Like, how hard is it to do your goddamn job, right? When has it ever been acceptable to just go, you know what, we're going to let the company shut down because we didn't get what we want? That's what's happening here, right? You can't just go to your job and say, I'm not going to work until you do what I want. Your boss will go, no, you're a fucking idiot, you're fired, right? Why doesn't the American people, as us, do that right now to them? This is an election years, folks. They have just shot themselves in the foot. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. If you voted against it, of like running, you know, getting the government back up and running, that's on you, man. For the most part, there was 45 Republicans that decided to go, hey, this is stupid. We need the government up and running like right now. And then 5 Democrats were like, yeah, this is fucking stupid. We need to get the shit up and running right now. But a whole host of other senators in the Democratic Party and 5 on the Republicans said, no, we're going to continue the debate until we figure out what we're doing, which is fucking stupid. No. Look, I have a heart. I do. And I hate that the DACA program is in such a place that it's getting shoehorned into something that nobody wants, right? And that sucks because they need the help. They need to. It's not their fault that their parents bought them here. I get that. It sucks. But at the same time, they are still illegals until we fixed it. And all Donald Trump did was go, you know what? It wasn't legal in his eyes for Obama to pass a executive order saying that they can stay like that. No, he said, no, do it the right way, send it through Congress, pass a bill, get something that is an actual law, and then you can't buck against it. But regardless, if it wasn't for Trump, it would have been some other president because it would have come up to them again and again. It's always how those things work when it comes to executive action. Eventually, it would have come up to another guy to have to do, right? And so that's not on him. It would have been somebody else if it wasn't him. Would have been another Democrat. It would have been another Republican president. Doesn't matter. It still would have happened. Look, and that's kind of the thing that's really hard for me because, like, as a person that kind of believes in this idea of being more involved in a more globalist idea, I get it. But I still want to keep certain inalienable freedoms and liberties to ourselves, like guns, or whatever you want. Like, whatever you want to say is like, here's what the freedoms are: freedom of speech, Second Amendment. Gotcha. We want those things. But at the same time, it's like, we can't be heartless assholes, you know, just willy-nilly that. But at the same time, we can't be responsible for all of the world's problems. That's not on us, man. That's on the countries that they come from. If other governments were taking care of their own, they wouldn't have to come here. But then that's on us because we're heartless bastards for not letting them in. And I think that's really fucked up. Why don't you spend the same amount of energy and time denouncing these countries, for lack of a better word, are bad places to be? Why aren't you decrying, why aren't those governments doing better for the people? Why aren't they taking care of their people? Like Venezuela, for instance, isn't taking care of their people. But that's on us, apparently. That's our fault. And I don't think that's right. Anyway, so now we've got this issue with DACA. Now we have all this issue with people up in arms because they're going to blame the Republicans. They're going to blame the Democrats. They're going to blame Donald Trump, obviously, because he's the president. And he's well, it's Obama's fault for not letting the government shut down. You know what? At the end of the day, presidents really don't have that much power. As much as people like to believe the president can do all and be all, he can't. That's Congress's job. And they are failing at their job. And we should fire them. I don't understand why we keep voting in the same people 30 years later when they aren't doing their jobs properly. They can't compromise. They're so set in their values and their whatever, trying to get reelected for the next election in 2 years or 4 years or 6 years, whatever it may be, that they don't care about passing anything meaningful. And that's their fault. That's not on our, that's our fault for voting him in. But that's their fault, and they should be fired for that. But the only way we can fire them is to vote them out. And that's what you should do in this election. All those people that voted for the continuation of the government shutdown, you should fire them. Axe them. Done, though. That's it. They need to be gone. Anyway, let's kind of close this out. It's just, look, it sucks. This is the world that we live in, that our representatives will not compromise. And this is what I advocate for wholeheartedly. It's compromise. I don't care if it goes against your values. I don't care, because you know what? It hurts people in the long run because you won't do your goddamn job. Do your job. Do what you're elected for. Work. Anyway, going back here for the Hooch Podcast. Listen to us on whatever podcast platform you want to listen to us on. Like us on Facebook. Find us on YouTube. Help support us on Patreon. We love doing this stuff. We love you guys. And I hope you find this well-meaning and you enjoy it. Anyway, for now, this is it for my little motorcycle rant. But help me come up with a better name for this thing, and we'll see you later.